Geauga Local Access Cable Corporation, in conjunction with Quay Buick Suzuki, present high school football. Today it's the Shaker Heights Red Raiders hosting the Chardon Hilltoppers. And hello again, everybody, and welcome to high school football. I'm Craig Dees, joined by John Walsh. Today we're at Shaker Heights High School as the Red Raiders host the Chardon Hilltoppers. Big ball game for both, John, because both of these teams looking for some computer points, and they both come in at 6-1.
Yes, they do, with Chardon having a loss to East Liverpool, while the opening game for Shaker was a loss to St. Ed. Short of that, they've been untouched this season.
And last season when these two teams met, Chardon with a surprise, not necessarily a surprising victory, but the extent of the victory was surprising.
Yeah. Quite honestly, I believe that was the best game Chardon played all last year. They had all 8 cylinders running, really took it to Shaker. Shaker's looking for revenge this year, and as you said, both of them have playoff implications with this ball game.
Not only are they all running on cylinders, and running is the operative word for both. If you look at Shaker Heights, they do it well on the ground.
Yes, they do. With starting with, they run with their eye back, or tailback, if you will, Derek Tatum, who has close to 1,200 yards this season. If he's not carrying the ball, he's being faked too, with quarterback Nate Clemens getting the bulk of the other carries going to the outside. So it should be a ground control game today.
And on the other side of the coin for Chardon, they come in with Gary Renner, who is now the owner of the rushing title over at Chardon.
Yes, they do, and they're going to have to get those holes open up on the inside, because that's something Chardon's been lacking this year, is the ball control offense that they've historically been famous for. Hopefully they can get it in gear, and we can just have one whale of a ball game today, Craig.
So there you have it, two offenses that have been dynamited, but it's going to be up to the defense to see who can win this ball game. We're going to step aside, head upstairs, and we'll come back with the opening kickoff.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Shaker Heights.
We are underway here at Shaker Heights. On the return is Nate Clements. Clements busts across the 20, breaks the tackle, and he's across the 35 to near the 37-yard line. And that is where Shaker Heights will take over, first down and 10.
Is knocked out of bounds.
The offensive unit for Shaker Heights: Adrian Clark, Aaron McMickle, Clinton Martin, Jared Zack, and Tom Fallon up front. The wideouts, Tim Reese or Nate Clements, we're not quite sure, along with Chris Conwell. The flankers, Matt Pope. The tailback is Derek Tatum, and the fullback is Darius Peterson, and coming out at quarterback will be Nate Clements. So that means Tim Reese will be the wideout to the near side. First down and 10. They hand the ball to Tatum, and Tatum busts over the left side, and he's up to near the 48-yard line, and that will be a first down for Shaker Heights. Defensively for the Hilltoppers, Ken Fester, Chris Dakowitz, Keith Jenkins, and Kevin Platts up front. Mitch Hewitt, Tim Smith, and J.R. Vesey are the linebackers. Scott Mackar, Ben Chuha, Brad Crow, and Ryan Davis is the defensive backfield. First down and 10 from the 48. Again, it's Tatum into Chardon territory as he rambles to the 45-yard line, and he picks up near 8.
Yeah, so far they've kind of controlled that corner fairly well. We suspected they'd be running left, because they got at left tackle, left guard, they got Adrian Clark, 6'5", 305. Aaron McMickle at the left guard, number 68, goes 6'1", 265. That's the beef portion of their line, and that's the direction they're running towards.
Second down and 8. They give it to Tatum again. This time he's got another first down, and he's inside the 40 to the 37.
Raider first down. Stop by throw on the play, but not until the football is advanced down to the 30.
Okay, so far they're just controlling the line of scrimmage big time out there. Shaker's moving the ball well, coming right at it with what Chardon knew that they were going to be doing, coming off of the tailback, Derek Tatum.
So it's a first down and 10 now for Shaker. They spot the football at about the 35-yard line. Tatum again tries to bounce outside, being chased by Platts, gets away from him, and now he is inside the 30 to near the 28-yard line. Ken Fester is there. Also on the tackle was Kevin Platts. Last season when these two teams met at Chardon, Chardon rolled all over Shaker by a score of 40 to 14 on way to the Division II playoffs, where Chardon got 2 games deep before they were knocked out by a very tough Solon team.
It's going to be second down.
I thought they're using Darius Peterson, the fullback, coming out of the wing position there. He's just controlling that corner, giving them excellent blocking up front, giving Tatum the room to maneuver around there, get yardage.
Second down and 8. Again, or second down and 2, I should say. Tatum rumbles up to the 21-yard line, so they move the chains one more time. So it's been all Tatum so far. Tatum on the season, 175 carries for 1,143 yards. That includes 12 touchdowns. It's about 6.5 yards a carry, or 163 yards per ball game.
Yeah, with 25 carries, and you can see he's well on his way to beating that average with no problems. He's already got probably a good half dozen.
First down and 10. They'll spot it at the 22.
Long count.
Clement's taking his time. And we got some movement. Tom Fallon on the right side jumped off sides, and that will cost the Red Raiders 5 yards.
I don't really understand what the purpose of that was, unless it was just a case of trying to slow them down to keep the momentum going. But I'll tell you, they have controlled that line of scrimmage thus far and moved the ball pretty much at will. It's my way of thinking, as long as you got that going for you, just continue.
15 for the Raiders from the Chardon 27-yard line.
So first down and 15, the ball's back to the 27-yard line. Chris Conwell splits to the wide side. They bring Tim Reese to the near side. They run Tatum, tried to change directions and does, and picks up only a yard or so. Dakowitz on the tackle for Chardon. Kevin Platts was in there also.
Yeah, Kevin got penetration there. Just got an arm on Tatum enough to slow him down so his teammates could come up and keep it to a very minimal gain.
14 for the Raiders.
That's pretty much what Chardon's got to start doing. They got to shoot those gaps, get into the backfield area, and just take the legs away from Tatum and slow him down before he can get going. Because right now it's just Shaker offense controlling this game.
Second down and 14. Little delay to Matt Pope. And Pope is only able to pick up a yard or so. Didn't fool a whole lot of people. He only makes his way up to the 23. So he got about 4, and that'll bring up a third down and 10.
Yeah, that time we pulled the left side of the line, led by Adrian Clark, and his 300 pounds pulling outside there. But Mitch Hewitt, the outside linebacker from Chardon, snaked in behind him, got his legs in there, just enough to upset the running back a little bit and slow it down so his other teammates can come up and make the tackle.
Where they spotted it'll make it really third down and 11. Tatum puts it on the ground and is recovered by Chardon. Kevin Platts came up to make the fumble recovery. That'll give the first break of the game to the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, that play was just a hair out of sync there. I think Tatum might have got just a half step further than he should have been on that one, because you could see the quarterback reaching out, just laying the ball right on his hip there. Never got the clean handoff made.
Offensively, we expect to see Keith Jenkins, Brian McCulcia, Jeff Neal, Larry McGurr, and Mark Burr up front. The tight end is Kevin Platts, Ryan Davis, and Scott Macar should be out there. Yes, they are. Also, Brad Crow is a wingback. Gary Renner is the fullback. And Brett Weidig, a 6'2", 200-pound senior, is the quarterback. And they give it to Renner for some tough yards, maybe a yard up the middle. The defense for the Red Raiders, Jason Ward, Adrian Clark, Aaron McMickle, and Onaje Grimes up front. Darius Peterson, Derek Tatum, and Jared Zack are the linebackers. Nate Clements, Tim Reese, Donnell Boyer, and Chris Conwell, the defensive backfield. Give him a gain of about a yard. Second down and 9 now for the Hilltoppers.
Well, I tell you, we are getting some shifting around strong side, weak side, and all this other good stuff coming out of that Shaker defense.
They give the ball to Crow, and he rambles down the far sideline, and he's across midfield and into Shaker territory. That was the sleight of hand of Brett Weidig that made that play for Brad Crow, and Crow rumbles down to the 46-yard line.
Oh, no question about that. The whole Shaker defense just swarmed into the middle to stop Renner's penetration there, and Crow was just all by himself on the outside there with the ball. Got a good gain out of that one.
The ball is spotted at the 46 of Shaker. It's a first down and 10 now for the Hilltoppers. 6 minutes and 23 seconds to go first quarter. Again, it's Crow. He gets stood up at the 41-yard line before he's smacked down to the ground. Nate Clements made the tackle for Shaker Heights.
Yeah, so far it's offensive lines are controlling up there. That time we had people knocked down up front for Shaker there as the front group for Chardon did it. It seems to be we could be in store for one of those big games like you said you saw last night, the Wycliffe-Chagrin game, 35-34 or whatever the final score was. We could be in for a lot of offense this afternoon.
Give him a gain of 4, 2nd down and 6. Weidig going to keep it, looking, and he is crushed. Wow, he got nailed.
Chris Conwell.
By Chris Conwell, who blitzed. Woof. My, oh my, and Brett Weidig is still down at the 48-yard line.
Yeah, that was kind of hit that gets the crowd all fired up and all. Weidig is still down in the field. We hope he's okay, but he did take one nasty hit.
It will be 3rd down, 17 yards to go.
Yeah, that's normally you don't see. You see the cornerback. They must have been running a blitz on that one as they rolled Weidig out to the right, because cornerback normally is dropping back into pass coverage in that area there, but he was coming forward like a bullet.
Wow. It was quite a smack.
Yes, we hope Weidig's okay down in the field there.
So we will see probably Chuha in at quarterback.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those. They'll either bring in, Chuha's out of the field right now. Ben Shore, number 17.
So Ben Chuha
by the scoreboard in zone 6 minutes before the half.
is into the ball game. The good news is Brett Weidig is sitting up, and he may have just gotten the wind knocked out of him, and rightfully so after a hit like that. My, oh my.
I tell you, Chuha brings a dimension which is kind of like a mirror image, him being a left-hander. That just reverses the field. Your rollouts will go to the left rather than the right now with the left-handed quarterback. Handoffs are just a little bit different because you're coming from the other side of a straight. And Weidig is, it's good to see him walking off the field like that.
Well, he will have to leave the play or the playing field for at least one play. Good news is he's heading toward the right bench. Sometimes when you take a hit like that, they have no idea where they are.
Oh, yeah, that's the kind that rattles the head a little bit, but it's good to see him up and about.
3rd down and 17. The ball all the way back to the Chardon 47-yard line. So Ben Chuha is in at quarterback. He's a 6'2", 200-pound junior. And Chuha keeps it, and Chuha is going to go down, and they'll lose a couple of more yards all the way back to the 46-yard line. So a punting situation now for the Hilltoppers. So offensively, the ball was moving well, and now it's not.
Yeah, that was number 4 defensive end Jason Ward coming, just playing across, not letting anybody outside boxing and keeping the man trapped inside, making a tackle himself. Good defensive play by Ward on that one.
Scott Mackar into punt. Nate Clements goes back deep. Scott angles it toward the sideline. And it is surrounded by the Hilltoppers, and it falls dead at the 27-yard line, and that's where Shaker will get the football back with 4 minutes, 38 seconds to go here in the opening quarter. Craig Dees along with John Walsh. Glad you could join us on high school football this week as the Chardon Hilltoppers are taking on the Shaker Heights Red Raiders. Today's game is underwritten by the cable subscriber franchise fee from the communities of Chardon Township, Chardon Village, and Hamden Township for viewers in northern Geauga County, and by the good folks at Quay Buick Suzuki for viewers in the Shaker Heights area. Remember, quality begins with QUA. 1st down and 10 for Shaker Heights, and Tatum barrels his way to near the 33-yard line.
Well, I tell you, they definitely are a left-handed team, though, Craig. You can see them just running 90% of their offense so far has been to the left.
2nd down and 6 for the Raiders. A halftime score from Columbus.
So 2nd down and 4. Gain of 6 for Tatum on the last play. Reese to throw. Reese going to launch it. Nobody there. And there's going to be a flag. They're going to call holding on Keith McLeod.
But there is a flag on the play.
Donnell Boyer was the guy who was supposed to get it. Tim Reese on the season is 19 out of 66 throwing the football for 290 yards and 5 touchdowns. He's also thrown 6 interceptions. Neither one of these teams very prolific at throwing the football. Tim Reese, that's a 22% average for Reese throwing the ball and only 41 yards per game.
Yeah, I think historically what we have out here is 2 ground control offenses. You know, they really don't get that much into the putting the ball in the air. There's the 3 yards of the Cloud of Duffs group. Except the way they've been moving the ball, it's a little more than 3 yards today.
Tatum being chased. They string the play out nicely, and it is thrown for a loss. Kevin Fester was the man who initially did the pursuing, and then Ben Chuha knocked him down for a big loss there.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. If you're going to cut to the outside, you got to have those ends containing them to the inside, which Fester did an excellent job getting across. Even though he did make the tackle, he did his job driving him deeper and pushing him back into the backfield as Chuha could come up from a safety position and finish him off. That's teamwork football right there.
Loss of 4, 2nd down 14. Clock running, 3:16 and counting first quarter. Clements was in a quarterback, and he was going to run the option, and they fumble it, and Scott Mackar comes up with the football. So that's twice Shaker Heights has moved the football reasonably well, and twice they've put it on the deck, and twice they've lost it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he was running the option. I think that was just one of those misdirections where you fake it to Tatum, go outside, because I really didn't see anybody trailing him. Because he had fullback Peterson going the other way to draw people away. It was kind of a quick fake of Tatum in the line, circle it out to your left, but unfortunately he didn't get that ball tucked away and just lost it as Platts came across and made a good defensive play again.
Brett Weidig back into the ball game, hands the ball off to Renner, and Renner moves forward to about the 41-yard line.
I think it was Mackar in that carry. Yeah, it was Scott
that
Mackar.
Was Scott Mackar.
Yeah, it's nice to see having a player that takes a vicious hit like he took before come right back in the next time. It's just good to see Brett back on his feet.
Jason Adams checks into the game for Chardon.
You know, this is one of those strange games where you're getting a lot of offense, but you get the big defensive plays that just turn it around. It's a well-played game on both sides of the ball so far.
That time it is Renner, and Renner gets inside the 40 to near the 38-yard line. Weidig got absolutely blasted by Nate Clements. Weidig gave up the football, was 3 or 4 steps away from it, and Clements just drilled him and put him on his keister.
Yeah, and I see Weidig is over there talking to the referee saying, hey, ref, I don't have the ball anymore. Is this a little bit above what's called for here? But the referee kind of said, yes, it is, son. It's perfectly, that's hard football. That's just something you do with the type of offense you have out there.
Ryan Davis split to the near side with 1:45 and counting here in the first quarter. We have no score. 3rd down and 4. It's a long 4, probably closer to 5. Weidig gives it to Renner, and Renner's got nowhere to go because he ran right into Adrian Clark.
Number 25.
Adrian Clark drives him to the ground. Adrian Clark goes 6'5", 305 pounds, and he's only a junior.
Yeah, he's still a growing young man there. I remember him from last year. He was a very enthusiastic, hard-nosed player. Mackar this time is going to try to pin Shaker deep in their territory.
Mackar to punt it again. This time it's an end-over-ender. And it takes a semi-Chardon bounce and will hop out of bounds at the 16-yard line, and that is where Shaker Heights will take over. 1st down and 10. 59 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, it's been a well-played ball game. I'll tell you something that's already stood out here is the play of the defensive ends on both sides of the ball. Ward and Grimes for Shaker, Fester and Platts for Chardon. They've just been a big part of this ball game, and that's kind of the inside people are starting to seal up. They're going to try to do the outside. That's where the defensive ends come into play.
Got a timeout down on the field with 59 ticks to go here in the first quarter. And it has been one of those quarters that we anticipated where both teams are running the football well enough to pick up a couple of first downs, John, but not well enough to get into the red zone.
Well, it's pretty much like I say, the big plays. We're getting our defensive ends cutting across, taking away the bad, quite honestly, at this point in the game, bad ball handling by the Shaker group, as they've already put the ball on the ground twice. It's one of those explosive games that is just very, very well played by both sides.
So Shaker will get the football.
Yeah, they should get one, maybe two plays at the most, going to left to right, and then they'll be shifted directions. We had the quarter. We're down to under a minute play yet.
First down and 10 for the Red Raiders. They pitch it back to Tatum. Tatum busts across the left side. He's got the first down and more before he's knocked across the 31-yard line. Tim Smith makes the tackle for Chardon, and that'll be a first down.
Well, I don't know. We should have started tracking or something, just how many carries Tatum's going to have. But, boy, it's 25 carries per game average. I think he's going to blow that out pretty close to the first half.
We would have been quicker to count the amount of carries he doesn't get. Clock continues to run down. 32 seconds to go opening quarter. There is no score. Kind of what we anticipated, a back and forth kind of a ball game. They pitch it to Tatum again. This time he moves forward to about the 35-yard line.
Yeah, this time they're starting to run a little bit to the right side. I suppose that's because the left side of their line, Chardon's kind of overcompensated there, taking away the left side gains that they were getting early on. This time they're starting to go over to the right side, away from their big men there.
And that will do it. We have played one quarter of football here at Shaker Heights. The score, Chardon 0 and Shaker Heights 0.
At the end of the first quarter, Shaker nothing.
Second down and 5 for Shaker Heights. And that time Derek Tatum goes nowhere. Kevin Platts makes the tackle for Chardon. And actually spotted a loss of maybe a yard.
Yeah,
third down and 7 coming up. There you watch it again.
He stuck that shoulder pad right in the gut there. You could see that, just drove him back. He's getting across the line.
Nobody picked him up at all there, John.
They're going to have to make blocking adjustments there, because that's about the third, fourth time we've seen Platts in that backfield. That's not a way you can get your offense in gear. Shaker's going to have to adjust to that and make corrections.
Third down and 7. They need to get to the 41-yard line for a first down. A little pop pass across the middle is completed to Matt Pope. And Matt Pope breaks a tackle into the 40. Brad Crow trying to get an angle on him, and Brad Crow runs him out of bounds at the 11-yard line.
Yeah, that was one of those quick hitters, very well executed, but there was some bad tackling on Chardon's part in that play.
To the 12-yard line.
See him going back here, catches it. There's one missed tackle. Here comes the second one up here. And then finally Crow gets the angle on him, drives him out of bounds. But not before he gets down to just outside of the 11-yard line. The Shaker's in business now.
Yes, they are. They pitch it to Tatum. Tatum cuts back up a huge hole up the middle into the end zone. Touchdown. 11 yards out. Derek Tatum goes into the end zone.
That was one of those nicely blocked plays. It seems like it's going to the right, but you plant the foot, cut it to the left. That's actually where the whole blocking takes place. Nice counter, good execution on that one as Shaker puts the first points on the board.
Coming in to attempt the point after will be John Manley. He is 16 out of 19. Is this lefty kicker?
Yes, it is.
cranks that one right through, and so at the 11:06 mark here in the second quarter, Derek Tatum goes in from 11 yards out, and Shaker Heights bounces out to a 7-0 lead over the Chardon Hilltoppers.
Well, I tell you, he's got some leg, though. Did you see that extra? It was like the little punch you see on extra points, except it probably would have been good for a 35, 40-yard field goal out of that punch. Which definitely, I don't have the stats on him, but I'm assuming he's probably got a couple of sizable field goals. That comes into play real heavy if you got that strong-legged guy that can just get you long points when you need it.
Well, John, I'm glad you asked, because John Manley on the season is 2 out of 2 field goal kicking wise, a 25-yarder and a 50-yarder.
50?
Yes.
Wow. No in-betweens, huh?
No, sir.
50 yards, wow.
Yes, sir.
If I could get the ball to go 50 yards in the air, I'd be so proud of myself. I can't imagine putting it between 2 posts.
If I could run 50 yards, I'd be happy.
Well, that's true. I guess I didn't go as deep as I should have.
So Manley into...
Well,
no, actually, they're going to have Harry Hansen kick off, and Harry's drilled 3 in the end zone. Wind held that one up. Fair catch is called for by... It looked like a fair catch. Makar stuck his arm up, and unless he was blocking the sun.
I think he was blocking his sun. Ooh.
Makar breaking tackles, and he barrels his way to the 41-yard line. That was deceiving to me from up here. It looked like he was waving a fair catch, and I'm thinking, what's he doing? But he was blocking the sun.
Yeah, you don't see many fair catch. I guess you can call a fair catch on a kickoff.
A lot of
if you're
times
allowed
you see that
a free kick out of that point.
A lot of times you see it on the pooch kicks.
Yeah.
You'll see the fair catches, but it was obviously Scott trying to block the sunlight. So Brett Whiting in the Chardon offense.
Very nice return on that one. As you can see him just weaving his way around and keep chewing up these yardage. Excellent returning by Makar.
First down and 10. Whiting going to throw. Looking for Makar, and he's got him wide open at the 40. The foot race is on. He's to the 20, and he is tripped up and goes out of bounds at the 7-yard line.
Boy, that's the type of play that just answers you right back right away.
I think that was
excellent.
Brian Curtin, I think, was the one that made the tackle.
And he did that pretty much with speed because he didn't really have that much. He had a little bit of an angle on Scott, but he really did it with turning on the jets and picking up ground. You see him, he's just got this very slight angle, pretty much coming straight on him. No pure speed, as Curtin did a good job saving the 6 points.
Well, they spot the football just at the 10-yard line. First down and 10 now. And that time they run Renner up the middle.
Yeah, just straight in, straight ahead football. As we're down to this first and goal situation, got good yardage out of that. As Renner picked up probably 3 yards of it, good solid 3 yards.
So he gets 4 yards. Chardon's going to take a timeout. This is an important drive for Chardon.
Oh, very much. I'll tell you, that pass play could have come at a better time because you just got Shaker pumped up, turned on as they get their big play in the thing. And you know something, this kind of works against what we were seeing in the pregame, Craig, where we're talking about these ground control. It's been the big pass play from each of the teams so far that has added the bulk of their offense.
I'd like to remind you to look for more football coverage this fall on GTV, as we'll bring you the Chardon-Steubenville game next week. And right after Halloween, we'll bring you the airing of the Tricks and Treats of the fiercest rivalry in Geauga County. And that's always their last and best game. It's the Berkshire Badgers and the Cardinal Huskies game. That'll be on October 31st. Halloween night, we'll be taping that ball game. That'll be for the viewers out in Geauga County. And again, we'd like to welcome the viewers on Cablevision and Shaker Heights who are joining us for this game this week. And of course, thanks to the good people at Quay Buick Suzuki for their help in bringing you the broadcast out to that part of the world. You're nationwide now, John. You're almost everywhere.
Right. Across county lines.
Second down and goal from the 6.
Big,
again,
nice
it's Renner. Touchdown. Nope, did he lose?
He was in.
Yeah, he was in. All right.
I think he lost it after he crossed the plate. Nice blocking on that right side, as I believe that was Larry McGruer, just blew open a big hole from his guard position on that side. Teamed with Mark Burr, I believe, coming out of the tackle position. Opened up a nice lane for Renner just to drive into the end zone as Chardon answers Shaker right away.
Took him 1 minute and 4 seconds to do so. Scott Mackar in to attempt the point after to try to tie this ball game up. Good news for Chardon is you don't let that momentum swing for too long against a tough Shaker defense, and Mackar's PAT is good. And at the 10-minute and 2-second mark here in the second quarter, we are all knotted up at 7 apiece. Also like to remind you while we've got some time that should the Hilltoppers make the playoffs, GTV would like to bring viewers in northern Geauga County those games, but your help is going to be needed. Because GTV has a limited budget, the only way playoff games can be carried is with the help of the Chardon Athletic Boosters and businesses in the community. And those businesses have stepped up for the last, 3 years for us. And we've been able to televise every single Chardon playoff game. So if you or your business would like to help the Boosters Club underwrite playoff coverage, contact Trevor Wilson or Chuck Weidig of the Boosters for details. Without community support for playoff coverage, we won't be able to follow the Hilltoppers. So if you can, again, contact Trevor Wilson or Chuck Weidig of the Chardon Athletic Boosters, and hopefully we will be able to bring you Chardon Hilltopper playoff football again this season.
I'll tell you something.
And who can remember 1994 when we went all the way down to Paul Brown and brought home the state championship?
Oh yeah, that's amazing. That's the type of thing Shaker is looking at this year. They're probably thinking about getting themselves into the playoffs, start moving. I'll tell you, we have a ball game out here that's almost up to playoff intensity. These teams are playing very, very well. We've had some nasty hits. The one on Whiting was probably the classic of the demonstration, but I'll tell you, that was his next pass, the bomb he hit to Mackar. He stood in there, so obviously there was no mental block about the hit he took before as he delivered it right on target.
Mackar's kick is headed toward Matt Pope.
Ball right
Pope,
there.
actually, he got fumbled out of bounds, and also down there was Devin Miller.
Yeah, I'll tell you, we had Pope and Clemens kind of bumped each other. There was miscommunication or no communication, if you will, as they come out and ball was touched, roll out of bounds. They have to take it down there. That's a big break for the Chardon group.
So first down and 10 yards to go. They spot it just outside the 10-yard line. They bring two receivers now to the near side for Shaker. And they hand the ball to Tatum. Tatum finding some hard running on the right side.
Stopped by the middle of the hilltop.
I'll tell you, that interior line has just made the adjustments. At the beginning of the game, the Shaker guys were, up front, Clark, McMickle, Martin, Zach, Fallon were just controlling that line of scrimmage. But all of a sudden, the Jenkins, the Dakowitz, the Festers, the Platzes have taken over. Shaker's going to have to either try to keep milking that outside or go back to the air or something. They're going to have to readjust back.
Clements pitches it back to Tatum, and Tatum is sandwiched at the 15-yard line, so he'll be about 5 yards shy of the first down.
Yeah, that's the type of play that earlier on they were controlling that corner and just getting around and making it real, real easy. Now we're getting up, the Chardon players coming across. You see Hewitt digging in from underneath there and just helping in on a tackle. But they're starting to solidify, take the outside away. The big guys in the middle are taking that away. We've turned from this offensive generated ball game into, short of the two big pass plays, of course, into this defensive based ball game.
Now Tim Reese is in at quarterback, and Reese is going to launch it. Looking downfield for Clements, who can't catch it. Boy, if he'd have stuck his arms out a little bit more, he might have had that thing.
Yeah, I think that's one of your classic gator arms. He kind of kept those elbows in close to his body. If he had run as we'll see a replay here, as Reese fades back, just lets the ball air out. Well, look how close Clemens' arms are as he reaches out for that ball game. See,
I don't know if he
saw the bend in the elbow. If you hadn't been a bend where the arms are fully extended, he might have been able to pull that in. It might have been able to score because he had the defender beat.
Tim Reese put that right on the button, too. That was a nice pass. The punt is headed toward Ryan Davis, and Ryan will let it bounce down at the 47-yard line. So John Manley gets off a decent punt, and that's where Chardon will take back over. First down and 10 now at their own 48-yard line.
Yeah, this is
8 minutes and 28 seconds to go here in the first half. Craig Dees along with John Walsh. Glad you could join us on this week of high school football, a special Saturday afternoon taping today.
And
That's a great little facility, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, and I'll tell you, the weather is cooperating. We get that little cool football weather, if you will. But I was expecting, you know, the long johns to be on, 14 sweatshirts, and it actually is a rather pleasant afternoon, as I see you've even taken off your Chief Wahoo jacket there, Craig.
Yes, I have. Throwing caution to the wind. My mother's not here to tell me to keep my jacket on, so I'm making those decisions myself. Gary Renner goes across the right side into Shaker Heights territory, barrels his way down to the 46-yard line. Ward on the tackle for Shaker Heights.
Yeah, I tell you, we had Dakowitz that time at guard, just sealed off the outside. I believe Burr at the tackle position again, kicked his man out, opened up that nice little lane. Renner hit it, got an appreciable gain out of that.
Gary Renner on the season has carried the football 150 times for 631 yards, a little over 4.2 yards a carry, and he did break against the Eastlake North Rangers the career rushing mark at Chardon, which is quite a feat. Whiting pitches it to Makar, who loses it, and Shaker's on top of it. Coming up off the bottom of the pile was Jason Ward. So Ward picks up that fumble, and now Shaker Heights is the recipient of the turnover. Something interesting about Shaker Heights, they've put it on the ground twice. 11 other times this season they've done the same thing, so they're good for a little over a fumble a game. This time it's Chardon, and that just hit Makar in the right shoulder pad.
Yeah, the pitcher's just a little bit behind him there. Chardon, we'll see how the defense reacts to their first turnovers. The momentum seemed to be shifting Chardon's way. This might put it back in the Shaker direction.
46.5-yard line. It's first down and 10. Clements hands the ball off to Tatum. And Tatum is brought down for a loss by Scott Makar. So Scott Makar, who had a hard time corralling that pitch by Whiting, shakes that off and makes a good defensive effort.
Yeah, I tell you, they're getting their penetration across. You can see right on the corner there, you got Fester being held up, but he's not giving the corner. He's fighting his way in. Tatum's got to shift out just a little bit deeper. That allows his teammates to come up. That's a lot of things people don't understand in the football game is when you're watching, you don't need to make the tackle to really make the play. And on that one, Fester really made the play. Though Makar did a nice job finishing it off as well.
Tim Reese back in at quarterback. He fires across the middle. The pass is complete. Darius Peterson has it in Chardon territory down to the 40-yard line before he is knocked down by Mitch Hewitt.
He has the Shaker.
I'll tell you, that was...
But Tim Reese doesn't throw the football like a guy with a 22% percentage, does he?
No, I think he's upped his percentage quite a bit today. Of course, with the 22%, complete 1 out of 5 you do, as you can see, we got the Crow-Hewitt sandwich being made as the receiver plays pinball, bouncing off of 2, does a good job holding on to the ball.
Nice gain for Shaker Heights there, down to the Chardon 40. It's now a first down and 10, 6:35 to go here in the first half. Clement's going to keep it. Flags fly as he gets shoved out of bounds just outside the 30. But we got flags on the far side of the field and on the near side.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we had a little bit of a hole there or something, because it was thrown directly out in the area where that would have hit. Another point towards Chardon.
Legal procedure against Shaker Heights.
Wow.
Dave Sedmak very animated on the sideline there with that call.
I never heard a whistle or nothing killed in the playoff. Did you, Craig?
No, I don't think it was a dead ball foul. I think somebody might have been moving toward the line of scrimmage. Now we'll see what the official word is.
What is the Shaker? I'm looking down their huddle, and they're all happy about something. I don't know if this is their pump-up technique or what.
Well, it'll be a first down at 15. They need to get to the 30-yard line for a first down. The clock continues to run. 6 minutes, 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Beautiful day for football here at Shaker Heights High School. And an excellent crowd on both sides. Reese to throw again. Hit as he throws, and he fires it out of bounds. Coming in to make the play was Tim Smith. Ball headed in the direction of Darius Peterson.
Darius Peterson is incomplete.
Yeah, actually, that was a little closer to one of the Shaker sideline players.
Tell you what Shaker has done this season. Going into today's game, they have 304 carries for 2,008 yards and 25 touchdowns on the ground. That's good for about 286 yards a game. Through the air, they're only 21 of 69 for 317 yards, but they've thrown the ball fairly effectively tonight. They've got 5 touchdowns through the air, but they've only thrown for 45 yards per ball game. Second down and 15. Reese to throw, fires across the middle, and it is incomplete. Pass was intended for Matt Pope. All kinds of toppers on the coverage, including Ben Chuha.
Yeah, that time he was well covered. Not sure if he let the ball go knowing he was well covered, but it really was. That was probably the poorest pass that Reese has thrown today. It was well off the target, but that might have been one of those just dump it, get rid of it, go on the third down play and make it happen.
Depending on when you're watching this ball game in Hilltopper land, it will be on Sunday and Monday at 7 and 9:30 p.m. So depending on when you're watching it, we may be back again. Sunday and Monday, 7 and 9:30 p.m. They launch it up for Clements, and this time it is incomplete. Makar got a hand on it and knocked it away from Clements down at the 13-yard line. And again, Tim Reese put that ball out there where it could have been caught.
Yeah, to tell you the truth, Nate Clements has tremendous closing speed. I thought that ball was way overthrown, but I keep watching and watching, and Clements is coming in on it, and he was almost short of Makar getting that hand and then tipping it away. He almost came down with that ball.
John Manley to punt. Manley with a nice high kick, and Chardon will let it bounce, and it will take a shaker bounce, but it does get into the end zone, which is good news for Chardon, and they will get the football at the 20-yard line. If you're in Raiderland and you're watching this game on Monday night, we invite you to come back again tomorrow at noon on Tuesday. Right here on Cablevision Channel 24, you can watch Raider replay. So if you're watching it Monday night, we'll be back Tuesday at noon, and glad that you could join us for high school football. Dynamite ball game. We've been looking forward to this game for many a week.
And it hasn't disappointed us in the least. This is a well-played ball game from both teams' viewpoint, from both sides of the ball. Offenses have been doing a good job. Defenses have been a little bit more dominant, but I'll tell you, this is a game that could radically change second half where the offenses take over and start putting a lot of points on the board.
Ball's on the 20, and Renner goes over the right side and might have picked up 2.5 yards. 5 minutes and 38 seconds to go here in the first half, so Chardon with plenty of time.
3 yards out to the 23.
Yeah, I'm sure as you can see, Renner coming up into the line there, had a little bit of a hole open up, just kind of lowered the shoulders a little bit, picked up a good 2.5, 3 yards.
2nd down and 7 for the Hilltoppers. No wideouts right now for the Hilltoppers. They've got everybody tight in the middle.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to try to fake the pass even. I think they're into the ball control right down here.
Renner tries the left side and bounces across the 25-yard line. Looked like Clements might have knocked him down.
Yeah, Clements did sneak up from his cornerback position and just took a ball carrier like Renner where you should. Just kind of chop him at the ankles there and trip him up. Because you don't want to take a big, powerful, low-running guy like that up higher. He's just going to drag you for additional yardage.
Nate Clements had 28 tackles on the season coming into today's game. 3rd down and 5 for the Toppers. Whiting maybe changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Sends Crow in motion again. He gives it to Renner, and Renner gets about 4, but that will leave him a yard shy of the first down. The ball came squirting out, though, after Renner was down, and Chardon now in a punting situation. So they don't keep the ball for very long. There's going to be a little under 4 minutes to go in the half when Shaker Heights gets the football back.
Let's call it 4th down and a short yard for Chardon.
So Scott Makar stands back at his 15-yard line. Going deep is Nate Clements and Donnell Boyer. Clements wears 20, Boyer 13.
They're setting up the return, too. There was no rush at all on the
Clements
punt.
puts it on the ground, but is able to cover it at the 39 or 40-yard line, and that's where Shaker will take over. Smart move by Clements. Not that he could do a whole lot more besides fall on it, but you certainly don't want to try to pick it up.
Yeah, you had the 2 linebackers, Timmy Smith and Mitch Hewitt, down there real quick, looking to lay a hit. That's the guy they would really like to give the hit on, too, is the starting quarterback.
So 3 minutes and 46 seconds to go here in the half. And again, it's Tim Reese now back at the quarterback, which means Clements is now a wideout, and he goes to the far side. This time they hand the football off to Matt Pope, and Matt Pope got about a yard and then gets drilled.
Oh, I didn't realize they had another.
JRVC.
I wasn't sure that Shaker had another running back there. That's kind of surprising to hear the ball carried by Matt Pope. as he's trying to take the corner there. You can see Fester's right there. Who's that laying? J.R. Vesey just stuck him right in the middle, laid a good hit on him. Good defense, stringing that out by the Chardon group there as Pope, I believe, gets his first carry of the game. I'm
first
not
carry
sure
of the game.
about that.
It might be his second. He has 15 carries on the season for 121 yards coming into today's game.
He hasn't many carries for a starting back, though, even though he does play out of that flanker position.
2nd down and 8. Clements has the football now, and Clements knocked down behind the line of scrimmage. Ryan Davis was the man who made the initial contact and then was helped out by Ken Fester.
Yeah, they're stuck in.
JRBC as well.
Davis did an excellent job that time. Kind of took the little inside out away from him so he couldn't cut back. Played off his shoulder towards the inside, so he had to commit to the outside, kept driving him deeper, then finally got on the ankle, made the tackle. That was just good defensive footwork to position yourself to make a good play.
Clements to the far side, Boyer to the near side as Reese is under quarterback on a 3rd down and 12, and Reese will throw. Reese fired, looking for Clements, and he overthrows him. Brad Crow on the coverage. Oh, and he almost lost a ball boy on the far side. Clements goes over and makes sure that he's all right. That's that kid's first hit in high school football, and he's probably got 5 years before he really gets here.
Well, I'm sure. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's Tim Smith's younger brother, so yeah, we couldn't see the end of it.
There he is over there.
The flash. I believe that is.
Oh, man, you should have seen that guy coming at me.
He's probably down there saying, I could have taken him. I could have taken him.
John Manley gets the punt off. Fair catch is called for, and that was dangerous.
Very.
Ryan Davis should have just let that thing bounce, but Davis squirts ahead and downs it at the 40. That was some trouble there.
Boy, was that high and floaty. You can see that ball just hanging up in the air forever. Yeah, that's one of those you'd have been best advised just to back away, and if it rolls 5 yards or so, let it roll.
So the defenses have stepped up here late in the first half. We've got 2 minutes, 5 seconds to go. And we are knotted up at 7. Ryan Davis split to the far side. Crow is the wing on the far side. Whiting pump fakes, now he's going to throw. Looking, and he has a man wide open, and it was Crow, but pass was overthrown. 2nd down and 10. Had him open.
That was a very nice little pattern as they crossed. I believe they crossed players. They sent the split out over towards the inside, drawing people away. That opened up the outside lane for Crow. And he was wide open. Whiting just overthrew it just a little bit. As we're down to exactly 2 minutes left in this well-played first half.
Nice homecoming crowd here today for Shaker Heights. Keith McLeod now in as a wideout for Chardon. And it's Renner. Renner just puts his head down and moves the ball forward for a gain of 4.
He has 3 or 4. Let's call it a gain of 4.
Up off the bottom of the pile for Shaker Heights was Brian Barnes.
It'll be 3rd down and 6 for Chardon.
Barnes just hung on for dear life as he was run over by Renner.
Yeah, I think we had Krebs and I think McGrew on that side blocking the hole in front of him. It was just straight ahead power blocking.
3rd down and 6. The ball is at the 44-yard line. They need to get to midfield for the first down. Whiting to throw. All kinds of Red Raiders coming, and a great catch by Scott Macar at the 41-yard line. Oh, fully extended, dragged that one in. Watch it again.
Oh, very much. You can see he just got both hands on it, pulled it right into his chest upon receiving it.
First down, 10 yards.
That's the thing. Before you hit the ground, you got to get that ball put away or the ground could jar it loose on you. The PA announcement guy just paraphrased right after you. He came up with great catch, great catch. You know, I was hearing it in stereo as we got the speaker directly over our heads.
So they spotted at the 42. It's a 1st down and 10. A little dump pass was intended for Macar that time, and that will fall incomplete.
Falls incomplete. 2nd.
Yeah, that was a strange little play. It was. I'm not sure exactly if there was something went wrong. Somebody ran a bad pattern or whatever, but it just didn't look like that play had any chance for success at all. As we're down to 56 seconds.
Again, McLeod checks into the ball game. Looking down below, there's a little kid that they just took over to the paramedics, and with all the bees around here today, I'm wouldn't be surprised if that's why she's going over there. She got stung by a bee. She's got a Shaker Heights jersey on. Weidig to throw. Weidig's going to keep it. All kinds of running room. Turns the corner and gets near the 31, maybe the 32-yard line. He will be close to a first down. The clock continues to run.
Brian Barnes coming on that. I tell you, Weidig did a good job on that one. He was looking downfield, and all of a sudden he saw I got all this land. As you can see, Barnes, number 26, coming in and finishing him off.
So Weidig spikes it, and that'll bring up a fourth down.
Has Chardon used up their timeouts as of yet?
They may. I think they've used one for sure, maybe two, because we didn't get the official word on who took the first timeout. The sticks say fourth down. The scoreboard says third.
And me at my age, I'm not sure. I trust my memory at all.
That's got to be fourth down because the first pass was incomplete to Makar. Then they picked up some. Then they picked up the run by Weidig and then the spike. So it's fourth down.
Not in Minnesota from State College, PA, homecoming at Penn State, Minnesota.
Fourth down and 2 for the Hilltoppers. Exactly 30 seconds to go, and flags will fly. And we've got to delay a game. Well,
delay a game after a timeout?
They didn't take a timeout.
Oh, that's right. It was a spike ball. I'm sorry.
So that'll make it fourth down and 7.
Well, that's a different play than you do on 4th and 2.
It is second down and 7 yards to go.
Second and 7. We get another viewpoint for the PA announcer.
No, it's not second down. It's fourth down. Weidig to throw. Weidig looks, fires across the middle, doesn't matter. Makar picks up the first down. They will stop the clock to move the chains, and we will see if Chardon is going to take a timeout.
Yeah, I saw Makar come up and signal immediately for the timeout. No, they didn't give it to him. I did see Makar get up after the catch signal for the timeout immediately.
Yeah, he may have, and they're going to have to take it. And that may not have been the prudent play because they do stop the clock to move the chains. They've got a chance to re-rack it, take another spike, and save the timeout.
That's right. You'd only eat up maybe 3-4 seconds at best.
So first down and 10 await the Hilltoppers. The ball is inside the 25. Looks to be about the 23.5-yard line. Again, if you're watching this ball game in Hilltopper land, we will be on Sunday and Monday at 7 and 9:30 p.m. How do you think we'll hold up Sunday night against the World Series? Could be tough. Could be tough.
I think we'd be lucky to finish second, you know?
But Monday night we'll be back at 7 and 9:30 as well if you're watching this on Sunday. And if you're watching this in Raiderland, if you're watching it on Monday night, come back and join us tomorrow at noon. So set the VCR. Channel 24 in both communities. We're glad you could join us tonight. Today's game is being underwritten by cable subscriber franchise fees from the communities of Chardon Township, Chardon Village, and Hamden Township for viewers in northern Geauga County, and by the good folks at Quay Buick Suzuki for viewers in the Shaker Heights area. And remember, quality begins with QUA. First down and 10, Weidig to throw. Weidig being chased. Weidig tried to shovel pass, and it is incomplete. I see who is, I see Kevin Platts is somewhere in the area up there. That took 7 seconds, and that'll bring up a second down.
Yeah, he was in the general area we could call it grounding. This isn't like the NFL where as long as you're outside the tackle position, you can throw it, onto the baseball field off to the side there if you want to. Here you got to have eligible receivers in the area, but Kevin Platts was behind that one.
Davis to the near side, Crow to the far side. There you see Brad at the top of your screen. Second down and 10. Weidig to throw. Steps up, fires, looking in the end zone, and that is intercepted. Intercepted by Nate Clements, and there's 11 ticks of the clock left.
Yeah, that ball was overthrown. I'll tell you something we ought to think about doing, Craig, is come up with, for Chardon next week when we do their games, a theoretic all-league team. Since they're not in the league, people, deserve the recognition.
Right.
I'll tell you one player that's had an exceptional season is the center, Jeff Neal. He just played very, very solid defense out there, offensively, done a super job in a position that really doesn't get much recognition.
So Nate Clements picks off pass number 5 on the season, and we have played one half of football here at Shaker Heights, and we're right where we started. The Chardon Hilltoppers and the Shaker Heights are deadlocked at 7. You're watching high school football on GTV and Cablevision. Well, we're just a couple of seconds away from the second half kickoff. We hope you enjoyed the halftime. Two pretty fine band performances there. There you see the score, 7-7. We were hoping for a good one. We thought we'd get a good one. We got a good one.
Yeah, so far, I'll tell you, we got the makings of a great one here as these teams are just playing. Like we mentioned in our opening, these are two teams that have strong playoff possibilities. Chardon, I believe, if they can get a win today, would about clinch a berth in the playoffs. Shaker would definitely come real close to clinching one. So this is a big game, and both of them know it. Both of them are playing up to those expectations.
We'll get into the computer rankings in just a little bit. Shaker Heights set the kickoff to Chardon. Harry Hansen knocks it back to Makar, who runs and grabs it at the 8. Big hole up the middle, and he's got some room on the near side. Makar breaks away and gets all the way up to the 38-yard line before he is brought down.
Well, I tell you, he did have some nice up-front blocking on that one.
Matt Pope on the tackle.
You can see here, he starts off on his right-hand side, cuts it outside, puts a move on, gets to the outside here, and just keeps moving and try to get more as he can. It's a fine return by Makar. Good up-front blocking by that Chardon special teams.
So Chardon has the football at their own 37.5, almost 38-yard line. It's a first down and 10. Gary Renner is the lone setback who steps up. Crow is one wing on the far side. That's Makar going in motion. It's Renner. Renner busts through the line, and he's on his feet across midfield, and he rumbles his way to the 45-yard line before he is knocked down by Nate Clements. That's the first sign of life of Gary Renner here, the first hole that he's actually able to pop through.
Yeah, again, that was that right side Dakwitz-Burr connection over there with Neal helping out, sealing the inside linebacker. Good hole open up, good initial play for Chardon starting the second half.
First down and 10. The football is at the 44-yard line of Shaker Heights. That's Crow in motion. The delay, it's Renner. And Renner again falls to the 40-yard line. Today's game is being underwritten by the cable subscriber franchise fee from the communities of Chardon Township, Chardon Village, and Hamden Township for viewers in northern Geauga County, and by the good folks at Quay Buick Suzuki for viewers in the Shaker Heights area, where quality begins with QUA. Make sure you give them a call if you're Shaker Heights. It would be nice to buy a car or two, but if you can't do that, at least pick up the phone and give them a call and tell them thanks for bringing you the game here in Shaker Heights, and thanks for paying your cable bill in Geauga County so we can get this game on. Second down and 5. Makar bobbles it and runs out of bounds at the 46, so they'll lose some yardage there, and that'll bring up a third down and about 11.
Yeah, that was the second time they tried their option pitch out there. The second time we had that wide. First one came over to the left side, this time going to the right side. The connection between Makar and Whiting is just not that sharp today.
It's hard to see if the spacing's good on that from where we're sitting. I'm not sure if Whiting's putting a little bit too much gas on it because they're too close together. But where they spot the football will bring up a third down and 11, or I should say 12. Crow again in motion. Whiting delays it to Renner, and he wishes he had, because Derek Tatum hit him and didn't let him out of his sight, and they'll push the ball all the way back to the Chardon 47-yard line, and that'll bring up a punting situation. We've got a man down on his back, arms stretched out.
Can't see who it is. It's a Chardon player.
Looks like it's Gary Renner, who didn't get up after he was dropped by Derek Tatum. Tatum on the season came in with 31 tackles, including 2 sacks, and he put a licking on Renner. Watch it again.
Yeah, we see just a mass of red shirts in on. Can't really see exactly what happened on that one.
As long as we've got a little bit of time, let's talk about the computer rankings. In Division 2, Region 5, Chardon is number 1 with 17.3 points. They are in 4th place would be Alliance with 11. You can see the difference right there that Chardon is in the catbird seat thanks to that victory over Euclid. And disaster would really have to strike, I would think, in the last 3 ball games for them not to make it at this point, John, because they picked up a ton of points from Euclid, and as Euclid continues to roll, those secondary points continue to roll in for Chardon whether they win or not.
Right. Yeah, but that's one thing they do have, like you said, disaster striking. They got a tough schedule coming up as they finish off, obviously, with this fine Shaker squad tonight. Steubenville next week, who is knocking on the doors and trying to break into the playoffs. And then they finish up with Mayfield, who got off to a rocky start, but subsequently have straightened out and are playing super football right at the moment.
I think Mayfield's won their last 3 in a row under Coach Ray Paglio. They are doing very well over there. Let's talk about Division 1 now. If you're a Shaker Heights fan, Shaker Heights comes in. St. Ignatius in Division 1, Region 1 is first. This is going into last night's action now. Shaker Heights is a point, about 1.4 points behind. St. Ed's is right in there, but St. Ed's got defeated last night by St. Ignatius. Euclid was in 4th, and the Euclid coaches, Tom Bank and his staff, a couple rows in front of us here tonight, or this afternoon, taking in this ball game. So you can see both of these teams are in real good shape for the playoffs, and a victory today could really give them a good go. Boy, Clements got taken all the way back to his 5 on a great punt by Makar. And the tackle for Chardon, Tim Smith, on the special teams coverage. And Shaker now will have their first drive of the second half.
Yeah, that was a nice team tackle. As you can see, Scanlon comes in on that one, number 37. Kind of takes the blocker on, turns him to the inside. Hewitt comes up, gets a little lick on it. Smith finishes off the play. That's the way you got to do on those special teams. Just kind of take on people, nullify, allow your teammates to help out when you need them.
Nate Clements is under center. He's the quarterback to start the second half. And Clements keeps it. Clements gets shoved into the Shaker bench, but not until he picks up 6 or 7 yards across the 30-yard line.
Yeah, you can see good penetration that time by Keith Jenkins coming from his nose tackle position. He just was a little bit out of reach there where he couldn't catch up to Clemens as he was circling to the outside.
About 7 or 8 yards.
Can't take you anywhere, can I? Knocking coffee all over the place.
Yeah, but it's being mopped up. It probably would have been mopped up rather quietly if you could have kept quiet there, Craig.
I'm not going to let you off the hook that easy, John. The people would be disappointed if I didn't give you a hard time. There's people that tune into this game just because I give you a hard time.
Yes, my family being one of them.
Derek Tatum.
That time he's coming outside. You see Hewitt gets penetration from his linebacker position, just gets an ankle, enough to slow him down. So again, his teammates can come up and finish the play.
Second down and 2.
Actually, I guess Hewitt actually got that tackle. He tripped him up and he came in.
They're going to measure. They hadn't moved the stick on the far side, so they're going to measure to see. Well, your son owes me $10 already for the abuse you've taken from me today, so I make money every time I give you a little turn of the knife.
Is that right?
Oh, sure.
Well, then speaking of my son,
I may do those sort of things, but I'm honest about it.
That's something I'd be remiss not mentioning, but we got to talk about, I promised I would talk about the Chardon football, the complete program. From varsity, junior varsity, freshman, 8th grade, and my son's 7th grade team. That loss to East Liverpool is the only blemish of the Chardon record, which is just impressive. I mean, you're sitting here with a quality football team out here, and the future is looking very, very bright, as the talent is just excellent. Right down the lines into the middle school program.
Yeah, so no pressure, Coach Doyle.
That's right.
Not at all.
Keep them undefeated, Bob.
All right, 3rd down and less than a yard. Clements under center. Gives Tatum, and the whole line moves forward across the 38-yard line, and that'll be good enough for a first down for the Red Raiders.
Boy, it did.
Another Chardon man down, but he will be getting up off the deck. That's Keith Jenkins.
That was just pure firing off the football, straight ahead. Put your body against a white-shirted body and push him out of the way. Again, he went on his left side behind big Adrian Clark and Aaron McMickle. His guard tackle strength.
Well, as we're talking about programs, Dave Sedmak hasn't been here that long, but this Shaker Heights program has been running on all cylinders of late. Really doing a fine job. Dave Sedmak, formerly of Beechwood High School, and went over there and had a nice little program going for himself, and then came over here to Shaker and has continued that on. Shaker in the playoff hunt the last few years. Tatum again. Or I should say the better part of most of the last few years.
Yeah, that time Tatum put on that little berth, got away from Tim Smith, who was blitzing in. Excuse me, on his left side there, just out of reach. And Mitch Hewitt comes in, grabs the ankle, finishes him off, but not after a good solid 9-yard gain.
Boy, I'll tell you what, that's a 9-yard and
plus
3/4 yard gain, because
9-yard, 35-inch.
Surprised they didn't do a measurement there, but they don't have to, as Tatum barrels his way across midfield and into the 48-yard line of Chardon. Clock continues to run here. We're in the third quarter. It's 8 minutes and 2 seconds to go. Craig Dees joined by John Walsh. Glad you could join us on GTV and Cablevision.
Shaker Heights retains possession.
Yeah, Shaker looks like they're going to tap into what worked for him early and on in this game, working on that left side, just muscling ahead.
Tim Reese at the quarterback. Nate Clements is now split wide to the far side. Chris Conwell to the near side, and again they give it to Tatum. And Tatum tries to worm his way near the 45-yard line.
Yeah, it was a good job of feeling his way along that line of scrimmage. It looked like he was going off that left side, right off of McMickle, the left tackle's position there. That's where the hole was supposed to be. Never formed. The Chardon guys filled in that area. He just kept moving down the line of scrimmage till he could find something. Got a good 3 yards out of that.
Penn State 16, Minnesota 15.
So 2nd down and 6. Reese hands the football off to Matt Pope, and Pope breaks a tackle. And Pope with some running room down the near side. Pope inside the 20. Oh, and he tripped over the 20-yard line. That red stripe came up and jumped at him, and Pope went down, just lost his footing. And he could have picked up more than that, but he did fall forward to the 17-yard line. So Matt Pope, who has 3 touchdowns on the season, was a trip away from maybe number 4.
Well, I tell you, that was just a case of the defense doing an excellent job, taking his hole away from him. But Pope just did an excellent job. Really, as you see, like you said, he tripped over the stripes on the 20-yard line, but he did an excellent job making something where there really was nothing at all.
Tatum bowls his way for about 7 yards. Wow, all the way down and near the 10-yard line. I got to see Chagrin Falls and Wycliffe last night. I'll tell you, arguably the top 5 football games I've ever seen. And this Tatum reminds me very much of the sophomore over at Chagrin, Sean McHugh. And they just run people over. They're just tough runners. They've got the speed in the open field, but what makes them so dangerous is the fact that they don't go down easy, and Tatum certainly falls into that class. 2nd down and 3. Tatum finds a hole and gets shoved forward inside the 5 to the 4, and that'll be another 1st down and goal situation now. Coming in for Shaker Heights, a couple of big guys up front. Najee Grimes comes in, and big old Juwante Watson, who goes 6'1" and 300 pounds. I hope I pronounced that first name correctly.
Yeah, I tell you that this drive has been going pretty much between the tackles, as they've just been muscling. As you see again, they're just taking it. That time they didn't do it.
Tatum runs into Fester, VC, and also Ben Chuha.
Yeah, there was a good little wall of Chardon defenders on that one, but again, they're just muscling it in. It must be they made adjustments in their blocking scheme or something, because like I said, early on in the game, they were dominating the line of scrimmage. Chardon defensive front took it over. It looks like they figured out ways to get them out of the plays and stuff like that, because they're really muscling to the inside.
Thursday.
You can look for more football coverage this fall on GTV as we'll bring you the Chardon-Steubenville game next week. John Walsh will be joined by Chris Reckner that week. And right after Halloween, John and Chris will be bringing you the tricks and the treats of the fiercest rivalry in Geauga County. Of course, that's the Berkshire Badgers and the Cardinal Huskies game. That'll be in week number 10. We should remind you, though, that should the Hilltoppers make the playoffs, GTV would like to bring viewers in northern Geauga County those games, but your help is certainly needed. GTV has a limited budget. The only way playoff games can be carried is with the help of the Chardon Athletic Boosters and businesses in the community. Now, the community businesses have come up strong the last 4 years. John and I have been doing the playoff games year in and year out, and if you'd like to help out bringing the playoff games to GTV, get a hold of Trevor Wilson or Chuck Weidig of the Athletic Boosters, and that way we can bring you Chardon Hilltopper football throughout the playoffs. Nate Clements keeps it on the quarterback sneak, and he muscles his way for about 2 yards. But again, that's about the only way we can bring you those playoff games, is if we get some help from the community. And again, the community has come up large year in and year out to bring the games to you. One other thing we should mention, another programming note, there will be 3 candidates nights coming up on GTV, so keep it right here in Geauga County for Channel 24 for the times and dates of the 3 candidates nights with the big November elections coming up. Third down and almost 3 yards to go for Shaker Heights. Tatum tries to pick his way, and he does, into the end zone. Boy, Derek Tatum goes into the end zone from 3 yards out, and that is his second touchdown of the day.
I'll tell you, they actually had him stop, but he just got those legs driving and used pure power to get behind his big guys there and just drive into the end zone. That was good, strong, straight-ahead running by Tatum.
John Manley in to attempt the point after, 17 out of 20 on the season.
At the 10-yard line, Danny George will hold.
The snap was a tough one. The holder did a great job of getting it up, but Manley shoves it to the left. That was a tough snap.
No good.
And the holder,
4 minutes, 36 seconds to play in the third quarter.
Danny George, did all he could do there to get that ball stood up for Manley to have an opportunity. He at least got it up where Manley could kick it, but we'll see how big that extra point looms large, and Chardon can tell you about missed extra points down against East Liverpool.
Oh yeah, that extra point there would have killed it off, where Liverpool would have had to, well, they could have done nothing. They'd had to go for the touchdown at the end of the regulation time rather than the field goal.
Right.
You know, that would just made a totally different game. Yeah, that was one of those you could just see the timing between the kicker because of the spot coming later. It's such a time thing. It was just well off, and he didn't even come close to getting the amount of leg he did on his first extra point attempt.
Harry Hansen to kick off,
and
that goes sailing out of bounds at the 10, and Chardon will get the football in excellent field position. The scoring for this afternoon, we didn't have any score in the first quarter. We had to move to the 11:06 mark of the second quarter. It was Derek Tatum going in from 11 yards out. The point after was good, and Shaker Heights led it 7-0, but it only took Chardon 1 minute and 4 seconds into that quarter before Gary Renner went in from 6 yards out. That was set up on a nice pass catch from Weidig to Makar. The PAT by Makar was good, and we stood at 7-7 at the half, and now at the 4:36 mark, Derek Tatum goes in from 3 yards out, and as you saw, the point after no good, and that's where we sit right now, a score of 13-7. Chardon gets the football back. It's first down and 10 on their own 35-yard line. Makar goes in motion, and they hand the ball to Renner, and Renner is hit behind the line of scrimmage by Onaje Grimes. Grimes with some great penetration there will drop Renner for a loss of 4.
You see, Grimes just comes in and gets underneath, drives, comes from his defensive end position. Like you said, got the penetration. That's the way to take on the big back like that. Get him before he gets his power build up.
So a loss of 4, second down and 14. Clock continues to run. We're down to 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Weidig gets a good block by Crone. He's got all kinds of running room. He's across the 40, leaps across the 45 and goes down to the 47-yard line. Darius Peterson comes up to make the tackle.
That was textbook tackle, too. He just got him down low. You can see here the fake. You can see as that time Grimes is coming in from his defensive position. Completely got turned around by the fake. Went for the fake. Opened up the outside. He didn't have his containment lane open. Got a good gain for Chardon that time.
They send Ryan Davis to the far side on a 1st down and 10. The football at the Chardon 46.5-yard line. Matt Carr is the wing. There you see him go in motion. And they hand the ball to Crow, and Crow is thrown down to the ground. Making the play for Shaker Heights was Lavelle Adams.
A loss of 5 yards on
Yeah, he just came into the backfield, got in there, and upset the play before it could even get going.
2 minutes, 45 seconds to go here, 3rd quarter. It will be a 2nd down, and it looks to be about 14 or 15 now. Chardon was moving the football there, a couple nice plays, and now they've gone backwards 5 yards. Weidig to throw. Weidig rolling out, looking downfield, just kind of throws it up for grabs.
Open.
And he had flats, and it's incomplete.
Oh, that was that close. It looked like...
I think that was Darius Peterson or Nate Clements. One of the two got their hand on the football, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Yeah, that was just excellent coverage and good closing on that one.
Don't forget, if you're watching this game in Red Raider land and it's Monday night, thanks for watching. We can come back. We will be back again tomorrow, Tuesday at noon, right here on Channel 24. And if you're in Hilltopper land and you're watching this game on Sunday at 7, we'll be back at 9:30 later on this evening. If you're watching it on Sunday, we'll also be back Monday at 7 and 9:30 p.m. All kinds of chances to watch this game on the replay. Weidig to throw on a 3rd down. And he's hit around the collar and he goes down. Coming up to make the play was Jason Ward, who has 4 sacks on the season already. That makes number 5 as they went right around the collar of Weidig.
Yeah, I'm guessing the back missed the block there. You saw Platts from his end position was going out on the pass route. And the defensive end just came straight in, collared him.
Jason Ward and Onaje Grimes. So Grimes will get part of that sack. He had 2 sacks coming into tonight's game. Makar in punt situation. Stands at the 21-yard line. Snaps a good one. And Scott angles it. Now it starts to head back, and a fair catch is called for and taken by Donnell Boyer. Shaker Heights will have excellent field position at their 32-yard line. There's only 1 minute and 40 to go here in the 3rd quarter. And Chardon trails Shaker by a score of 13-7, and Shaker looking for some sweet revenge over last year's ball game where they got it pretty much handed to them by Chardon.
And they're doing it Chardon style too, running between the tackles, controlling the clock by keeping the ball, and they drove it down the field nicely. Chardon's going to have to adjust to that if they're going to stay in this ball game. They can't allow another drive to that extent.
Well, that drive didn't get off to a good start as Tatum ran right into Ben Shuha. It looks like Dakowitz was there as well. It was either him or Jenkins.
Yeah, I noticed that's an adjustment that I saw a lot more in that defensive set for Shaker that time. They were sending linebackers in a whole bunch more. There's a lot of blitzing going on to the inside that time. That's how they were disrupting the offense.
Chris Jackson, 84, Dan Cowan, 85, Jared Levin,
2nd down and 10.
There's something you don't see at normally second half is the sun shining right down on us.
Yep, Donnell Boyer split to the far side. They run Tatum that direction. Flag flies, and Tatum it's knocked down. We've had very few flags tonight. This afternoon. I'm not used to this afternoon stuff. I haven't done an afternoon game in years.
And as you recall, I just mentioned the bright sun, Craig.
Yep.
You'd think you'd remember a little clearer on that sort of thing. You can see he tried to sweep it
Hey, you're not supposed to be handing it out. That's my job.
Well, your children gave me money as well.
54 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter.
I think we had a hold on the outside. Yeah, as the referee signaling it currently.
Pushes the football back to the 26-yard line.
So they wind the clock up. It is under 50 seconds to go. It's a 2nd down and 22.
Offensive guards, Lee Cuner, 45, Frank DeLuca, 52.
Yeah, we're running down to just a little bit over a quarter of football left in this well-played ball game.
Nate Clements is back at quarterback. Him and Reese do a little bit of that switcheroo. Clements to run it. Clements gets a good seal block and comes across the 35-yard line. As we said, coming into tonight's game, Clements had run 63 times for nearly 600 yards and 9 touchdowns, 85 yards a game.
Boy, I tell you, he's got that special little burst that you look at for running backs. Well, he's a quarterback, but in essence, on play like that, he's a running back. But it looks like he's moving along well. A defender comes up on him, and he's just got that extra little kick in his speed. That's something you just can't teach or work on to refine. It's got to be there.
3rd down and 10, so they get 12 yards on the last play. Now Reese is in at quarterback, and Reese is being chased. Lets it fly, and the pass is incomplete.
Hit the ground.
Almost a heck of a grab by Matt Pope, but Matt could not come up with it as the ball was thrown behind him. He did well to get a hand on it.
Yeah, it's a tough pass for a right-handed quarterback. Roll it to your left and throw it across your body like that.
Good call by the officials. So 16 seconds to go. Punting situation for John Manley. Makar goes back deep along with Ryan Davis, and the ball is bounced back to Manley, who gets it and knuckleballs one Makar's direction. Scott doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, he was looking around to find his little lanes, and there were just like 5 red shirts right in front of him.
Darius Peterson was there, and so was Brian Curtin.
First down, 10 yards to go.
So Chardon, with 7 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, will get the football back. They trail Shaker by a score of 13-7.
We got, what, 7 seconds left of the clock, so we should have, this should be the last play of the 3rd quarter.
Ed Hines, class of 1970.
Ryan Davis comes near side. Whiting under center. Whiting to throw. They keep Makar, or the Crow in the block, and he goes downfield, and he had Makar. And Makar's, he went diving into the bench. I don't know if Scott knew where he was, but Scott fully extended himself and went flying out of bounds at the feet of some of the Shaker Heights fellas on the bench. And that will do it. Oh, we've also got a flag. Holding is the call against Chardon. We'll keep it right here to see what the, as you watch it again, you see Scott was out of bounds. And that's that trampled area where everybody's walking, so that's like falling on concrete.
Oh yeah, that's bare dirt there, and he got scratched, got a lot of dust, probably got a little bit in his eyes.
So they will march the holding call back. The flag sits at the 25, so they will take it all the way back to the 15-yard line.
15-yard line.
So that's 27 yards to go.
And
looks like about 27. Well, that's going to do it for the 3rd quarter here. Shaker has jumped out to a 13-7 lead over the Chardon Hilltoppers as we end quarter number 3. I'm not sure what's going on down here because they haven't switched sides here. Renner on the carry, and Renner is across midfield, and he goes down to the 47-yard line. Trying to figure out why they didn't. You can end the quarter on an offensive foul.
Yeah, that was like unless there was 1 second left for some reason, the clock ran out. On the field, time might have been like a second left or something to end it.
Yeah, that may be true. The clock showed 0, but you're exactly right.
I'll tell you something that was really strange. And when was the last time you saw a player of Keith Jenkins' dimension throwing a block 35 yards downfield, leading a fullback out there? He was like 35 yards down, blocking.
All right, I'll tell you what, we've officially ended 3 quarters of football, so now we will give you the score at 13-7. Shaker leads Chardon as we have officially now finished quarter number 3.
On defense. Ryan Spring, 87.
Well, there you see the turf here at Shaker Heights, and we really have finished 3 quarters. We're sure of it this time. The clock never ran on that last play, so you might be right, John. Maybe on the field they had a second left and chose just to run the one play, but we finished quarter number 3 twice already. So Whiting to throw, being chased, being sacked back at midfield. Wow. That pocket just collapsed on Brett Whiting back at the 50-yard line, and they scoop him up off the deck.
Really, they gave him time. I think that was a cover sack more than anything. He was looking, couldn't find a receiver to throw to. You know, there was enough time. I think his blocking did hold up. It was just that there was nobody wide open, and by the time
the football is spotted at midfield.
Looked like Derek Tatum was one of the men on the tackle, and now we've got a man down for Shaker Heights who is looking pretty uncomfortable.
I think that's one of their big inside people. That's a good-sized pair of legs coming out.
Ball is spotted back at midfield. Chardon has to get to the 36-yard line to get a first down, so they got quite a ways to go, about 14 yards when play resumes. 11:41 to go here in the ball game. Shaker leads Chardon 13-7. Craig Dees along with John Walsh. Glad you could join us for high school football. While we've got some time, I'd like to remind you that today's game is underwritten by the cable subscribers franchise fee from the communities of Chardon Township, Chardon Village, and Hamden Township. That's for the viewers in northern Geauga County, and it is underwritten by the folks at Quay Buick Suzuki for the viewers in the Shaker Heights area. And remember, quality begins with QUA. Dave Sedmak has now made his way to the field to examine the man that's down. And again, as you were saying,
I'm guessing that might be Adrian Clark.
They're bringing him up off the ground now.
That's good. It's always good to see him in the city position.
With such heavy hitting going on there, he may have gotten a knee in the belly and knocked the wind out of him, because it looked like he was gasping for air, and they won't bring him up off the ground. I want to also remind you to look for more football coverage this fall on GTV, as well as as we'll be bringing you the Chardon-Steubenville game. That's next week, one of the few home games for Chardon this season. And right after that, John and Chris will be back bringing you the Berkshire and Cardinal game. That'll be on the weekend of Halloween. So stay tuned right here to GTV, Channel 24 out in northern Geauga County. Well, the good news for Shaker is their man is up and off the field.
Yeah, that was Adrian Clark, their big defensive tackle there. He seems to be okay. He's sitting over on the bench. It looks like they're looking at his arm a little bit, so I don't know if he pinched a nerve in it or what, but that seems to be what they're working on. 2nd down and 14 for the Hilltoppers. Whiting gives it to Renner, who covers the ball up with both hands and gets back across the original line of scrimmage
6 yards on the play
as he moves down to the 44-yard line.
44.
So it'll be a 3rd down and 9. Nope, about 7 actually.
That's kind of one of those plays that just could be attacking, where the hole was just created by Adrian Clark. You know, they lost their big gun in there, just run right at where he was.
Take my jacket off here, John. The sun is beating down on us. I'm liable to get a tan today.
This is incredible weather.
People are going to think I've been out on the
year.
golf course again. My wife will think that's where I went. Oh, you went golfing today. Look at you. You got a tan. 3rd down and 8. Whiting to throw. Looking downfield. Has a man, and that's Crow. And Brad Crow should get the first down. It looks like they'll give him a spot just outside the 35-yard line, and that will be a first down for the Hilltoppers. So a big 3rd down play for Chardon. They capitalize and keep this drive moving.
Nice connection, nice holding out of the ball. I'll tell you who was really an impressive player is that Clemens. Good solid runner at the quarterback position, and he also plays just a super cornerback all over the field. Has an occasional blitz. His coverage, his closing speed is just incredible. You look like he's out of the play. That time he was kind of flew by him, got an arm out, and just kind of ripped on Crow.
1st down and 10. Quick hitter, it's Renner, and Renner rumbles down to the 29-yard line where he'll pick up near 6. Clock is running, 10 minutes, 4 seconds to go in the ball game.
That time he ran over to the left side, went over Jenkins and tackle and Makusala at the guard position as they open up a nice little lane for a 5-yard gain. Chardon's offense looks like it's finally kicking up, and they're starting to get it going. Good time of the game to be doing that sort of stuff.
Makar splits wide to the far side. Second down and about 4. Renner gets stopped by Darius Peterson, among others.
Yeah, he kind of had a quick little
Jason Ward
hole.
was there as well.
Had a quick little hole and just sealed up on him. It was there. If he had hit it like a half step quicker, I think he could have been past the linebacker here. They closed it down real good that time. I see they're still working on the equipment, the upper shoulder portion of Adrian Clark, trying to get him back into the game.
Third down and 3.5 to go.
I think we're in 4-down territory down here, though.
And flags fly, delay of game. Boy, that's a costly mistake.
Very much so. That's not the type of thing. You're moving the ball. You got third and reasonably short with a long 4th or long 3. They move it back 5 yards on the infraction.
And I'll tell you what kills you is this time of the year, too. You know, it's one thing early on when you're still trying to, work on getting the plays in on time and calling the plays in the huddle. You know, when you get into week 8, those are the kind, especially when you're looking for a playoff berth, those are the kinds of mistakes that you can't afford to have. Now that makes it third down and a long 8.
A completely different play call.
Crow goes in motion. Play action, Weidig rolls out. He's got some territory ahead of him, but he fires across the middle and it's picked off. That ball is picked off by Chris Conwell.
Yeah, that was a super job stepping in front of taking it. Pass was delivered on target. Everything was there. Conwell just made a super defensive play on that.
By number 2, Chris Conwell.
Conwell jumped right in front of another number 2, Ryan Davis, for his second interception of the season. And now Shaker Heights, with 8 minutes and 30 seconds to go, gets the ball back. And what they're looking for right now is a nice time-consuming drive, get it into the end zone, and eat up as much time as possible.
Not much room over there.
Tatum didn't do anything. Might have lost a yard on that play, John.
Yeah,
Well, I tell you what, this playing surface is as good as I've seen all year. They only play football, high school football, varsity and JV and freshmen, and they give one 8th grade game on here a year, but and the band practices here, but no other games, no soccer, no nothing. And for this time of the year, it's in outstanding shape. And when you got a game this big, you want these kind of conditions. You want the good weather, you want the good surface, and that's exactly what we've gotten today.
Oh yeah, let the teams prove themselves, not the field conditions.
Second down and 11. They pitch it to Tatum, who reverses his field and comes back and jukes away from Makar, and the race is on. Tatum near midfield. He's got one man to beat, and he is dragged down from behind. Making the play was Tim Smith, who showed some outstanding speed.
Yeah, he came up, like you said, that was just sealed off, took the play away from the right-hand side there or something, reversed his field, brought it left. There was no containment on that side, took the sweep. Smith was lucky to chase him down and grab him from behind. Good hustle by middle linebacker Smith.
7 minutes, 23 seconds to go, and I think we've got another man down on the near side.
31-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go.
You can see it right down in front of the bench there. So we got a camera on the scene, and there he is. Who is that? That is Tatum. That's number 3, isn't it?
Can't really.
Yeah, that was Derek Tatum who's down there, and the way they're looking might have just been a cramp or a twist, but he's up on his feet. He'll have to sit out this play, however. So first down and 10, they spotted the football at the 31-yard line.
In Shaker, it'll be on Channel 24, Monday at 9, Tuesday at noon. In Chardon,
They
wind up the clock, 7 minutes and 19 seconds to go.
They are working him like it was a leg cramp. He's up, though. He'll be in the next play. You can count on it.
Channel 24.
I think Brian Barnes is now into the game, but Clement's on the keeper. Clement's down the sideline, and he stepped out of bounds.
Carries the football, steps out of bounds around the 25-yard line.
So Clements will pick up about half of what they, well, about more like 6 yards. So that'll bring up a second down and 4. Good news for Chardon is he stepped out of bounds and the clock has stopped. It looks like at exactly the 7-minute mark.
Well, we got everybody back in there for Shaker. Adrian Clark's back in, and Derek Tatum just comes strolling back onto the field.
Shaker timeout.
Chardon takes a timeout.
Chardon will take a timeout.
The Shaker Heights football
Coming up next week.
The Shaker.
Following contributors, Al's.
Coming up next week, Chardon hosts Steubenville, a game that you'll be able to see right here on GTV. Then they finish the season out against Mayfield, which should also be a good ball game. That game is at Mayfield on Halloween night. So Bob Doyle hoping to get Chardon back to the playoffs. What would this be? 94, 95? This is the 4th straight year they'd be back in the playoffs, right? At least. 94 is when they won the state championship.
93 they went to the semifinals, lost to Uniontown Lake.
Yeah. So this will be hopefully our 4th year going back to the playoffs with them. It's been a pretty good run so far.
Here are the results of the homecoming float in 4th place.
Shaker as well as their eyes on making it to the playoffs again. They were there a couple of years back.
2nd place class of 2000. And the homecoming float champion.
So 2nd down, and looks like about 4, we'll call it.
Bad snap.
Is the ball loose on the ground?
On the play.
Yeah, they never got the center exchange.
Now I don't see Chardon going wild, so Shaker must have been able to cover it. So Shaker dodges a bullet there. That'll bring up a 3rd down. Well, they did what they wanted to do, John, and that's move the football down to Chardon's end, because no matter what happens here, Chardon's going to have the length of the football field in order to get back in the game.
At minimum, they've gained back field position enough, but I'm sure that's not what they're thinking right now of minimum things.
Tell you what, I think the back judge got dinged up. It's either him or the umpire. There's an official walking down at the 10-yard line. You can see him hunched over.
I see Manley's over on the sideline practices his leg just for the case of they were within his field goal range with his strong foot.
Yes, they are.
The 26, 43-yard. You said he's got a 50-yarder. This is a chip shot. It's a glorified extra point for somebody with a 50-yarder on the resume.
3rd and 5 from the
another timeout down on the field. I'm not sure who called it. We're seeing the timeouts being called, but we're not seeing the point to what bench is the ones who called it.
3rd place class of 2001. 2nd place
Shaker Heights is taking the timeout, we're told. Thank you very much.
Champion, the senior class.
Okay, they're breaking the huddle now, ready to go at it.
So here we go. 3rd down and 4. Clements going to keep it, got some blockers, turns the corner.
Nate Clements carries the football. He is driven out of bounds short of a 1st down.
Ran into Ben Chuha. Will not get the 1st down, however. He will be about a 1.5 yards short. So 4th down, what do you do now? Do you go for the 3?
I would.
If you go for 3, it makes it a 16-7 game, and a 2-point conversion after a touchdown is not enough to win it for you.
I don't think they are, though. I think they're going to go for the play.
All right, we're going to have a hard time seeing this one because the crowd in front of us is up on their feet. I tell you what, Shaker's also taking some time in the huddle.
There's a flag on the play.
Delay of game. Incredible.
Inexcusable.
Incredible. That's 2 very costly ones, one on each team.
Yeah, I think those 2 definitely have been costly, but I think that's the 4th one we've seen today. I think 2 on each side. So that'll move them back 5 yards. And that'll spot it at about the 27-yard line. So you still.
Now they're pulling.
Now you're going to do it. All right. So it's going to be a 45-yard attempt.
What, it was too close for Manley?
By John Manley.
Manley will attempt a 45-yard.
This could put the. This will put. If he makes this a 2-score advantage, Manley's kick looks like it's got the distance and it's good. John Manley has nailed a 40-yard field goal for Shaker Heights, and that puts Shaker Heights up by a score of 16-7. The big thing there, though, John, is it's a 9-point differential. Chardon must get in the end zone at least one time.
They got to score twice.
Shaker Heights 16, Chardon 7.
I can't believe, it's just kind of inconceivable that they don't go for it, and then they push it back 5 yards, and they go for it.
Well, I think that they really thought that with the 4th down and a yard and a half that they could pick up the 1st down and keep the drive moving. But now you turn that into a 4th and 6.5, and now it's not such a gimme. So now you put it in the hands of your capable kicker and go from there. I'm almost positive that's what Coach Sedmak was thinking at that point, but
yeah,
it took a little bit of time to get people to the line.
What I've seen of Manley, though, he's got a heck of a leg, and everything seems fine there. I think I'd go to Salt and get that 9-point lead. I would have gone for it, but anyhow, it ended up the same way.
Manley drills the kickoff down to near the goal line. That's Ryan Davis, and Davis comes across the 30 to about the 34-yard line. That's good. Everybody's sitting down in front of us, thank goodness.
The football is spotted at the 34.
So Chardon has their work cut out for us. It looks like it's 6 minutes and 8 seconds on the scoreboard. And the only reason I say it looks like is the sun is beating right down on it, and some of the zeros look like 8s. And
if not, I would guess it's 6:06.
We know it's not 6:86 to go. So Chardon needs 2 scores, trailing by 9. Shaker Heights has played a heck of a second half defensively. Chardon has been unable to get anything going. Whiting to throw. Underneath pass, it's Crow. He's got the 1st down, stays on his feet, and falls forward and near midfield.
I think he got it. No, they're not killing off the clock. He must have stayed in bounds. Looked like he was trying to fall out of bounds and kill the clock, which Chardon, the clock's one of their enemies right now. As they're moving to change, the clock will stop for a few seconds here, but I believe it's going to be going because I never saw the referee signal the play was out of bounds.
The Hilltoppers retain possession. 1st down, 10 yards to go.
Yeah, this is one of those things with Chardon they don't have the luxury of taking the long drive because they got to get the ball back again somehow and get 2 scores out of this to have a chance in this ball game.
They did say Brad was out of bounds. So the clock sits at 5:58. And now Chardon's got to take a timeout.
Chardon timeout.
And again, they ran in another receiver for Chardon. I'm trying to think who came into the game. It looked like Alex Stevenson came into the game at one point there. And both teams today, for whatever reason, have had trouble getting the plays in and getting them called and getting to the line of scrimmages. By our count, we've got 4 delay of games so far. And
yeah, like you were saying earlier, that's not something that should be going on in the 8th week of the season. Especially when you're talking 2 quality programs like these. That's just, I don't know what the problem is on that. But I'm sure it's something that's going to be corrected during the week of practice.
Well, out of the 2 teams, Chardon is the one who could afford the loss if there is such a thing this week because of their commanding lead in the computer points. You certainly don't want to stumble into the playoffs, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But Shaker Heights really needed this ball game because they had a couple of teams breathing down their neck that are big foes.
And they got a couple of non-big point games coming up with Normandy and Warrensville being smaller schools for them. You know, all wins are more important to them than it is to Chardon as far as computer ranking.
1st down and 10. Whiting to throw, looks underneath the Crow and overthrows it. Chris Conwell was on the coverage for Chardon, or for Shaker. Clock stops, 5:55 to go in the ball game.
Yeah, that was a little bit overthrown, but it looked like Crow was having problems with the sun there as he kind of threw up his hands funny, like he was using them as a shield to try to find the ball, looking back over his shoulder.
And Brett was being chased out of the pocket there as well, so that was a forced toss, maybe a little sooner than he would have liked. Up the gut they go to Renner. And Renner powers his way to near the 40. He'll be about a yard shy of a 1st down.
A very short yard, but wow, no, he's changing his spot. Yeah, it's still a short yard.
It's 3rd down for the Toppers, less than a yard to go.
Yeah, I think we're in the foot and a half range for the 1st down. But that's kind of incidental. You just got to keep moving that ball down the field.
They're going to bring I think they're going to bring the chains on to measure, but I don't think they got it. I think it's almost right in front of us. It looks like about the length of the football. See if that's accurate or not.
Yeah, unless there's a lot of links dangling. Well, that is pretty darn close, but he's a bit shy. We're in the inches range.
All we got to do is ask. Just ask us how it is. A little short.
Shaker 39.
Jeff Neal comes sprinting out of the huddle, and the referee says, Jeff, go on back. We'll call you when we're ready. They have to set the chains. Here he comes again, and the referee tells him, get back again. All right, now we go. They wind the clock, 5 minutes, 29 seconds and counting. Third down and about 6 inches. Weidig right behind the big offensive line, barrels forward. Boy, almost got 4 yards. That'll be a first down. They'll stop the clock again to move the chains.
Yeah, that was, I think they were probably sitting on looking for Winter. Weidig just took it, hit the quick hitter, ducking behind his center there, and got good yardage out of that.
Keith McLeod is in. You wonder if they're going to start calling 2 plays in the huddle now, John, because they really
you almost
need
have to with knock it on 5 minutes left in the game. You just don't have the luxury of any wasted time.
Weidig fires across the middle. It's complete to Makar, and that's a first down.
That was a nice catch. He had to go behind him. The pass was just a hair behind him. He curled around, as you can see here on the replay.
What a football player that young man is. He has another Hilltop.
I have never heard color commentary on the PO.
I really haven't either. I don't know if you could hear that over the airwaves, but he was talking about catch by Scott Makar. What a football player that young man is. Yeah, that's a little overboard.
They probably hear
system.
Probably hear us better, or him better than us. Weidig dumps it underneath. The pass was intended for Ryan Davis.
Just a little bit overthrown there. I tell you, Davis did a nice little curl in that little open seam between the linebackers dropping back and the secondary people drop back. Had a nice open little lane there, but the pass was just a bit overthrown.
Second down and 10 now for the Toppers. The Shaker Heights defense doing the job here in the second half. Well, I mean, doing the job for the game, actually, only 7 points, but in the second half have not allowed a score. They have come up big. Renner busts his way up the middle and gets to the 20-yard line. Still leave them 6 yards to go for a first down. Clock continues to run. We're down to 4:19 and counting. The way this will play out, Chardon, I think, will take whatever they can get at this point, John. I mean, if they can get the field goal, I think they have to take it. And then one way or the other, going to have to onside kick and get the ball back.
Yeah, you're going to have the decisions going to have to be made there on the fourth down play when it does come, whether you want to grab your 3 at this point or go for the whole thing.
Weidig to throw. Fires it toward the end zone, intended for Davis again, and that is overthrown. Now, if they decide to go for a field goal, it would be a 37-yarder, and I'm not sure they're willing to do that right now. That's pretty strong. Looking at the flag behind the end zone, there's a little bit of a breeze there, but not much.
Yeah, and it blows in their face, so there isn't really that much, but they're going for it at fourth down.
They are.
This is the game. They're not going to get the ball back 2 more times after this. If they don't make it, it should be about over.
Weidig to throw. Looks for Platts. Little underthrown, and it's picked off. Tim Reese picks it off at the 10-yard line, and he runs out of bounds at the 11. So Shaker Heights will get the football back with 3 minutes and 36 seconds to go. At the 16-yard line. Where they have it is academic right now. The fact of the matter is there's only 3:36 to go, and Chardon has taken at least 1 timeout by my count, maybe 2.
Yeah, that's like you said. It's the referees have been a little remiss in signaling who's been taking a timeout. But in essence, Chardon's got to get the ball back 2 more times, and I don't think you're going to see anything too fancy coming out of the Shaker offense here, as they're going to play ball control and safe ball control. You can see a full house backfield in there.
Yeah, we got some movement. Right side of the Shaker Heights line moved, and that will march them back 5 yards. Yeah, in the backfield, you've got Tatum, number 3. Darius Peterson, number 24. And it looks as though we've got Najee Grimes back there as well, number 5.
Yeah,
Grimes comes out now, and they send in Matt Pope.
We're talking just straight handoffs. They don't really care about the first down so much as just holding on to that ball for the 3 downs. And then a short punt to get it away, because the clock's definitely in their favor.
Now
we're down to 3:35 now.
Chris Conwell comes in as a wideout. Now they go single setback with Tatum. Tatum tries the left side, runs into Ben Chuha.
Derek Tatum carries the ball. There is no gain on the play.
Also coming up to help out was Mitch Hewitt.
Timeout on the field. Timeout, Chardon.
And Chardon will take a timeout as the fans begin to exit the stadium here at Shaker. 3 minutes and 26 seconds to go. Before we get out of here, one more time, I'd like to remind you that today's game is underwritten by the cable subscriber franchise fee from the communities of Chardon Township, Chardon Village, and Hamden Township for viewers in the northern Geauga County, and by the good folks at Quay Buick Suzuki for viewers in Shaker Heights. So glad we could join you. We were able to do this last year as well with the help of Quay Buick. We brought you this game, and this time it's going to be a little more pleasing for the people in Shaker Heights, as their team has played a whale of a defensive football game today and had enough offense to get by.
So go out and celebrate and buy a car.
That's right.
Or two.
So Dave Sedmak comes jogging off the football field. Has to be very pleased at the way his troops are. We'd like to thank Dave as well, getting us all the information on the fellas this week, and as always helping us make this broadcast a little easier for us by his cooperation. Clements keeps it. Clements falls ahead to the 22-yard line. Gets out of bounds though, and that stops the clock.
Yeah, that's something that you don't really want to do. Somehow you just twist your body around, dive back into the playing field there, because like I said, that clock is definitely your friend right now. You don't want to kill it off.
Tell you what, the way things are going for us this year, John, with Chardon, they may not ask us back. We traveled down to East Liverpool with them, and Chardon came up empty on that one on an overtime ball game, a heck of a ball game just like this. And now we come out to Shaker Heights with them and going down again.
This is Derek
Tatum has the first down.
Yeah, that's kind of the nail that closes it right there. That gives them 3 more downs to kill off that clock.
2 minutes, 52 seconds. They wind the clock up. It's a first down and 10 for Shaker Heights.
Good job and good football game by both these squads today. Shaker just made the adjustments they had to in the second half to get their offense in gear, get enough points on here to take this ball game today.
Tell you what, between watching the Indians and some of the high school games I've gotten to see in the last couple of weeks, I'm down to no fingernails. I'm halfway down to the second knuckle right now, because these have been some nail biters all the way down. They give it to the workhorse Tatum, and this time he picks up 3, so second down and 7.
Hopefully the Indians have better results today than did the Hilltoppers from Chardon. Shaker, though, played an excellent game. Both sides of the ball again. Hilltoppers played their hearts out. They just ran into a Division I playoff caliber team. Congratulations to both squads today. A well-played ball game.
Clements keeps it, runs into Platts, and gets splatzed out of bounds. That will stop the clock. So again, Clements, the last 2 times he's had the football, has got near the sideline, and the clock is stopped with 1:44 to go. 16-7, Shaker Heights leads Chardon here.
It will be third down for the Raiders, about 11
third down and
to go. Third and 11.
Third down and 9 coming up.
28-yard line.
I guess theoretically, you know, we've been kind of writing this game off for the last couple minutes or so, but in theory, this is a big down for Chardon if they're going to have any hope at all, but it's going to take a miraculous finish to do it. You know, everything's just going to have to fall into place and fall into place quick.
They run Peterson in motion. Clements going to run. He's going to be chased. Squirts through a hole and gets the first down. He's up to the 40-yard line before Mitch Hewitt put the tackle on him. But there is a flag down at the 29-yard line, and I think this one will be coming back. Holding is the call against Shaker Heights.
The call is holding against the Shaker Raiders.
Is that 33 seconds or 1 minute 33?
1 minute 33.
Okay.
As far as I can tell.
Yeah, it's really, like you say, with that sun glaring right on it, it's hard to read.
But I tell you what, this was an outstanding day for football, and as we were mentioning, the conditions were just about ideal. I'm sure you could make a case for the sun in the eyes of receivers and things like that, but temperature-wise and weather-wise and more importantly, dryness-wise, this is the kind of venue that you want for two good teams to butt heads. Excellent crowd on hand this afternoon as well, which is good to see.
Boy, butt heads is a good word for it, because there was some hard hitting down in that field tonight.
Third down, it looks to be about 19 yards. We got all kinds of movement for Shaker Heights, and that'll move them back another 5. So illegal procedure is the call for Shaker. A little shaky here in the last couple of seconds of the game.
Shaker, shaky.
I didn't mean that either.
Okay, thank God you did.
No, that one slipped. I'm sorry. Last week I'm not kidding you, I had two games last week, and I mentioned that some fella tripped somebody, and the guy's name was Tripepi. Honest to goodness.
Nate Clements carries the football.
So that'll bring up
the 15 to about
that was
the
a
16-yard line.
fourth down, and Chardon will take what should be their last time out with
46 seconds, I believe, or 48?
46 or 48 seconds to go. So Shaker will have to punt it. This is very important. Again, it's going to take
for the block.
There's no question. You have to. You have to. I mean, the chances of getting 2 scores and a return I'd go right after it.
Well, you just missed I guess they're happy with you got another bucket going. This shows how big a game this was for Shaker. They just went to dump a bucket on an assistant coach.
Right. Yeah,
kind of half missed him. He turned around like, don't do that, guys.
You can see him in the huddle of the Shaker Heights offense right now, and I'm sure he's telling them, boys, you got to hold those blocks and give John Manley an opportunity to get this kick off. There's only 48 seconds to go.
John Manley.
10 men on the line. The snap is a good one, and he does get it off. Headed toward Makar.
Who's all on his own back there.
Yep, Scott's going to pick it up, and Scott's going to be surrounded and brought down at the 48-yard line. Not a whole lot of folks down there to help him. And being back in single coverage, Manley pushed it to one sideline, so Scott had to let it bounce first.
Yeah,
well, his 10 teammates were up trying to meet Mr. Manley up close.
8-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go.
So Chardon has it first down and 10 at their own 48.
I imagine you got Hail Mary type bomb coming up out of here. Hopefully they can make connections, and then you still got a lot of good luck to come.
It's like a 4-man line with 6 DBs.
Yeah, I call that a classic prevent defense. And they're deep too.
So
they're about good 15 yards off the ball.
Airs it out looking for Davis, and Davis got turned around, and so did Clements, who was on the coverage, and that's an incomplete pass.
Yeah, I don't know if Clemens is the one you want to be throwing towards. We're down to 30 seconds, I believe, on the clock.
Well, the Shaker Heights faithful have been treated to an excellent Saturday afternoon of football, and so have we. What a great day for football and an excellent football game. But, I mean, the story today, we talked about the offenses early, John, but the story today has been how well the defenses have played, especially Shaker Heights. And there was almost an interception. Almost into the hands of Tim Reese.
The ball was intended for Makar that time, overthrown a little bit and almost picked up by Reese, I guess the second string quarterback who gets a lot of playing time there.
So third down and 10.
25 long seconds as again we're going to go into the air. Then if Shaker gets the ball back, they'll just go to a knee to end it.
Weidig will give it another go. Weidig is being chased. Now he's going to have to run with it. That's trouble because the clock will keep running as he gets into Shaker Heights territory at the 46-yard line. Clock is now down to 12, 11, 10.
Yeah, if you're going to scramble like that, you got to go east-west to get to the sidelines.
Shaker Heights
This is the
faithful
last
up on
play.
their feet as Weidig will give it a last go as the clock has expired. Weidig's going to run with it, and he will go down at the 40, and Bedlam breaks loose as the Shaker Heights Raiders have defeated the Chardon Hilltoppers by a score of 16-7. Wow. Well, coming into the ball game, we told you it was a big ball game for both, and Shaker Heights was definitely looking for some revenge this year, John, and they played up to that, and they got the sweet revenge.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think they're so much looking at it as revenge as they're looking at it as an opportunity to be in the season after their 10 games are done. That's what I think they're really focused on, and this game gives them a lot of points to get to that end goal.
Now you see the teams down below exchanging pleasantries after the game, and again, a very hard-fought game, both on the offense and defense, but it really was the Shaker Heights defense that, in my opinion, was the story of this ball game. Well, that's going to do it from Shaker Heights High School. We're glad you could join us on the Game of the Week. One more time before we get out of here, we'll let you know when this game is going to be on. If you're watching on Hilltopper Replay out in Geauga County, we're on Sunday and Monday at 7 and 9:30 p.m. So depending on when you're watching this, you'll know if we're going to be on again at 7 and 9:30 p.m. And if you're watching the Red Raider replay, if you're watching it Monday night at 9 o'clock, we appreciate it, and you can tune in tomorrow at noon on Tuesday to watch Red Raider replay, both of those on Cablevision Channel 24. So for my partner, John Walsh, I'm Craig D, saying that today's game is underwritten by cable subscriber franchise fees from the communities of Chardon Township, Chardon Village, and Hamden Township for viewers in northern Geauga County. And a special thanks to the good folks at Quay Buick Suzuki for the viewers in Shaker Heights, where quality begins with QUA. For John Walsh, I'm Craig D saying so long. We'll see you again for more high school football. Have a good day, everybody.